LoreWarrior Aerotech Invader class jumpship. The Invader is the most common jumpship operating in the successor states. Designed to transport up to 3 dropships, the Invader has a cargo capacity of close to 1,000 tons. Its availability and efficient design make it well suited for both commercial operations and for large mercenary units. The Invader is also the jumpship most commonly used by the regular armies of the successor states. The Invader masses roughly 152,000 tons and is 505 meters long. When fully deployed, the ship's jump sail is just over a kilometer in diameter. Its appearance is similar to the familiar needle-like shape of many other jumpships, measuring 65 meters in diameter and 6 meters wide. The spacious centrifugal gravdeck provides artificial gravity for off-duty and visiting personnel. The jumpship's most notable feature is the pair of large domes mounted on either side of the command section. These large structures contain hydroponic gardens that provide fresh food and oxygen for the ship's crew and yield surplus large enough for distribution to its dropships, or to be stored for future use. Plant care is fully automated on around about 70% of all Invaders, while the remaining 30% requires that crew members handle daily maintenance. Though the hydroponic gardens take up most of the space of these domed constructions, a portion is reserved for a meteor defense system. The system originally consisted of a set of delicate long-range lasers that required a great deal of maintenance. Most Invaders now carry either 1 or 2 particle projection cannons or a pair of large lasers, identical to those on battle mechs. Although the radar systems on many Invaders can no longer easily identify objects as small as a meteor, the PPCs or lasers are still useful for repelling boarding attacks. Another feature of these domes is that their decks are oriented differently from the rest of the ship's decks. To alleviate problems that might occur when the ship is under acceleration, the domes are mounted on large traversing arms. Before the ship's station-keeping drives are fired up, these arms swivel out, aligning the dome so the decks run perpendicular to the line of acceleration. Deep within the Invader's command section is a large bridge, filled with communications consoles, electronic plotting boards, deep space tracking displays, planetary map boards, and video display panels. This bridge makes the Invader a good choice for coordinating major merchant operations and task force operations. Though designed to be operated by a staff of 12, the bridge has stations for up to 20. A person could operate many of the systems by himself, though many capabilities would be tremendously reduced. At full capability, the bridge can maintain simultaneous communications of up to 10 transmitting stations, monitor up to 4 planet-based battles, unit movements or combat fronts, and monitor a full-scale space battle. Because of the heavy mechanics involved in positioning the Invader's domes, the systems frequently break down. This can be a problem if the domes are extended because the hyperspace field generated by the KF drive cannot enclose these structures when extended. In such cases, there's a 30% chance that the drive won't activate. In addition, jumping with the domes extended may shear them off, and to resolve this problem, many ships simply leave the domes in the retracted position. When the domes are retracted, the meteor defense systems cover only the ship's rear side arcs. Also, when the energy collector sail is deployed, the ship cannot fire aft without hitting the sail. Though no successor state has any notable concentration of Invader-class jumpships, reliable estimates indicate that approximately 46% of all jumpships within the Inner Sphere are Invaders, and of these, successor state armies operate nearly 51%, merchants owning 32%, and mercenary companies operating within the Inner Sphere owning around 17%. The Invader class, probably one of the most famous of the jumpships that were introduced in Battletech originally. It looks pretty cool as well, and you can see the domes on the top and bottom there on the image. It's a very large ship, and is capable of defending itself with those PPCs or its large lasers, which is pretty rare for jumpships to ever come under attack, but it's good when they have those weapons to drive off any dropships that think they might be able to connect and make a boarding attempt. Other than that, it's 505 meters long, 1,024 meters sail diameter, crew of 22 with two small craft pilots. It has a dropship capacity of 3, 2 small craft complement. It runs a KF Mark 7A drive, first introduced in 2631. And apparently it's a common frequency of sighting. It's way better armoured, but not heavily armoured for what it is compared to the merchant class. But its tonnage is 145,000, with its drive 50 tons for the energy collector alone. It's nearly 2,000 tons for the station keeping drive. Docking hardpoints 3,000, small craft cables 300, grav deck is 100 ton, fuel about 50 tons, and bridge 383 in total, with 116 heat sinks built in. So yeah, it's one of the coolest looking ones. Definitely the kind of thing that you would see the likes of Grey Death, Wolf's Dragoons, all that kind of thing. They'd be moving about. Mercenary companies like that would be moving around in Invader classes. Obviously, most of the great houses would be deploying these. Periphery states, yeah, there might be a few. Turians, Magistracy, that kind of thing, they'll probably have a handful of them, but a majority of their space operations will probably be coordinated through multiple dropships, that kind of thing, with smaller jump ships. But yeah, Invader class is probably very small by comparison in periphery states. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if the Federated Commonwealth later on probably have the largest concentration of these ships as well going forward. But there are bigger, there are better than the old Invader, but we'll talk about them a later time. But until then, thank you everyone for joining. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye. Why did I say joining? It's not a Twitch stream.